Okay, it is 9:25 a.m. and the watch list has not changed, although I will be looking at other stocks like I think KYNC and what was that other one? There was one with a W in it. Yeah, it was WHSI. It's just gonna be a watch, a lot of these, but RSHN, because it kind of did one. I will consider it for a morning panic bounce play. It's not really perfect. I'd like it to be better. I'd like it to spike an uptrend today. DRNG could be a potential morning panic bounce play. Maybe tomorrow, if it does one today and it looks super clean, I might consider it, but I'd rather not trade it. CPSL will definitely be a morning panic bounce play potential. This one's having a nice uptrend. NSAV. This one as well, although I hope it doesn't turn out to be like ugly, disgusting looking, like DPLS was not too long ago. BTBT, I don't really know what to do with this one. I guess in theory this can just continue an uptrend. Perhaps it doesn't have to. Maybe the volume is going to be low for something like that to work. Maybe not. I don't know, but that's what I got for right now. It's going to be morning panic bounce place, and I am going to consider trading a larger size if the setup looks nice, because I don't know, I need to stop like going for these like $5, $10, $15 gains. I need to start not like unhealthy, but I need to give myself a healthy push and try trading these with more size. Okay, it is 9:54 a.m. I think I don't want to be stuck up, but I don't think a lot of people traded NSAV today profitably, but I didn't get anything huge today. Maybe with NSAV, at least right now. Maybe I'll trade it later, but I'm up, I think, 31 bucks or something like that. I did have a $7 loss in the beginning. Alright, so this is the setup, right? Since yesterday, gave me like DPLS vibes, so I thought this thing could be a choppy piece of crap, and it is being a choppy piece of crap, but it's alright because I've learned how to trade these, not because I'm so smart, but because I've traded them enough of times now to understand them better, with similar ones like this being GGII and another one being what is that other one, DPLS, and those two are recent examples. This thing can head for VWAP. I see 94 on the bid. That's nice. Yeah. But because it isn't perfect, like a lot of these, it might not even touch DPLS. If I had to guess, it will. But here was the idea. Okay, so NSAV, my first buy, this one was the one where I cut losses quickly. It was here at 934. I was in at 1035, so right about here, 1035, right here at 934. So right here was my entry. Okay, big volume candle is in. We have a consolidation candle. I'll be in at that consolidation candle at 35, which was right here. But I cut the trade. I sold the same minute. Oh wait, excuse me, that threw me off. No wonder. Yeah, I was in at 934. Where's 934 here? 934 was this red candle, and I was in it. Here it was in theory the big volume candle at 933. I got in at 934 at 1035, and okay, what am I risking? I'm risking the bottom, which is 1024 of the range. So then at 1035, when it cracked that level, I sold immediately, and I sold at 1021. Which was right here, 1021 right here. So my sell was right here, give or take 1021. My entry was 35, risking off 24. When it broke 24, I got out. Sure, it held itself together, and then it came back, right? Even touched the VWAP. Sure, I could have sold for a profit, but I'm avoiding something like this where it just keeps having a leg down. And that was the case with that. Then I went in a larger size at 937 just because it was looking better, and that was at 1022, which was right here. That's right, second big volume candle, but this one was now larger than that first one back there. So again, I was in at 937 right here, give or take 1022. And then next candle I sold, right? Yeah, 38. Why? Because this thing was having a lot of volume. I've learned, you know, that it was it got to this level right here at 937, right? Very nice uptrend, but then this next candle, I sold at 1038 because it was just looking really bad. A lot of topping action. It wasn't looking nice, and I tried putting in a regular sell order, but it wasn't going through. So then I went and hit like a market order, and I actually got through immediately, right? So I got out at 938 at 10. What is it? 53, which is near the top. Yeah, near the top right here, 1053. And then, okay, I'm going to just step away from it. It's not looking nice. It looks like it's going to turn around and make another leg down. So then I just left it alone until it was right here, 948, 91, right? Why did I get in at 91? Why randomly here in this little dip buy, right? Was it really 91? Yeah, 91, 948. Right about here. Why did I get in here, right? Okay, one max volume candles. These are the big volume candles, the biggest ones. Likely the bottom is in, and then we have now fading volume. So I was in at 948. You know, it just seems like it was going to start having fading volume. It was very hard holding through all of this choppiness because sometimes it just makes a top somewhere and then it breaks under it. So that made me more inclined to sell, and then I sold at 953, which was right here. Why? Because it got to, you know, a nice breakout at 995, as high as it did there, but you know, then it was starting to head back down. I said, alright, I'm not trying to be in the leg down, let me get out. After all, this thing can drop pretty massively with just tiny amounts of volume too. So I went ahead and I got out. It's still holding itself together, but I don't mind my sell there that much. You know, this thing might not ever get to VWAP because it's just too many people in the trade. Too many people have been burned, so they're trying to cut losses, right? It could work out. I'm not saying it won't. At one point right here, DRNG, I was interested in at 942. Right here, 942. And I didn't get executed. It looked like it was potentially trying to turn around because it was like a lower volume, you know, consolidation candle. Max volume candles in theory. Then it got executed, and then it kind of uptrended without me. I left it alone. It actually failed immediately. I would have had to have cut losses at some point, or maybe try selling for a profit. Here was in theory the max volume candles, but you see how this one isn't perfect? It didn't have like a third green day, a third very nice green day. Look how crappy it's trading. It failed here. Big volume candles, right? And then it got a little higher, 93 to 98, and then it fails again. That's why I stay away from them. If they don't have, in theory, at least 3 green days, that seems to cut a lot of the slack, the you know, the non-performers out of it. BTBT, I guess right here, when it started to turn around, 981 could have been a buy. Excuse me, because you know, it was trying to dip towards the initial breakout level, but when it only got to this level and it started to pick itself up, that could be almost a bullish sign. But I don't have that much experience with Nasdaq stocks. That's just what I think, what I'm looking at. CPSL keeps uptrending. This could have been a dip towards VWAP setup, but it hasn't done that. Yeah, so that's where I'm at the moment. I don't see anything else right now, but I'll keep looking. Yeah, it's unfortunate that NSAV is starting to trade like, you know, DPLS, GGII was just like not really that nice, but that's okay. Okay, I'm not sure if this will show it or not anymore, but I just wanted to record the volume action. It's just like big crazy injections of just red blocks in the momentum bar. I guess it's not really doing it anymore. I was actually considering a buy here. I would have cut losses immediately once it started hitting 80, but this could be like a max panic under 80 and they can try to turn around. That could be the kind of setup. I've seen that happen before again and again, but I might miss this one, and I don't mind missing this one. You know, it did have like a max panic here and it did turn around, but this thing could just continue to slowly fade out. And then, you know, I could take a buy when it does a max panic thing, but then it's kind of hard to risk a certain level because it's already cracked a level, and now you're just hoping it's going to turn back from that level. So it's not really the best idea, especially on something like this that doesn't trade too nicely. It never touched VWAP unless you counted this move right here. Out of this entire panic, only 1 minute out of all of these candles of pain and suffering and profiting for some people touched VWAP. I wonder if it's going to crack this level at 70. Looks like it did. Yep. That's 6.6. Alright, yeah, I'll probably stay away from this one. Look how much is dropping with such little volume. I mean, the minute just started recently, but still, it cracked 80 right here. At this point, because of how choppy it is, although it could very well turn around here in the 75-ish level, I will not be trading this anymore unless it does the inverse head and shoulders. If it can prove itself, it can put up a higher low. You know, this could be like the head, it makes a shoulder. I might consider that. Now it's just looking a little too much, so I'm not going to be trading this. I'll leave it alone. Okay, it is 10:20. I just wanted to record this right here. The first time this thing has more than 3 green candles in a row, which is pathetic. I actually considered a buy in this candle when it was still in the 7.5 range. You see I have my limit at 7.52, but you know, I didn't really think about really trading this again because I want to see it prove itself that it can at least put up a higher low and not be, you know, so weak. But you know, my idea was, okay, I could take a buy at 7.52 and then I risk the low here at 7.39, which would be tight. But you know, again, I just this thing could turn around here. I mean, a lot of these do that. DPL, SGGII just has a random turnaround. It seems random, but it's not entirely random. And you know, this thing can turn around and make a move at some point. I'll probably just like sit back and just stick to my rules and wait for a higher low, even though this thing looks like it can try to you know, make an uptrend here. Although what I mean by higher low is that it makes a shoulder, you know, like shoulder head, makes an uptrend maybe towards VWAP and then a shoulder. That wouldn't be too bad. It does trade with a lot of range. I mean, just a few minutes ago it was at 72, now it's 79. That's 10%. So very happy to see this thing put up at least 3 candles in a row. That's setting the bar low. DRNG keeps downtrending. Maybe this one, if it makes an inverse head and shoulders, I might consider it, but I don't like how close VWAP is. RSHN doesn't look nice. Maybe if it cracks 96 and throws in a lot of volume, but I doubt anything will come from that. BT. Okay, looks like it had like that breakout from VWAP, dips towards VWAP, holds VWAPs, and keeps uptrending. That's cool. Oh, here's the dip towards VWAP with CPSO. I think I probably missed this one, but I might consider this one just a small size because I don't like the way VWAP is looking like it's trying to round off and downtrend. So I'll make an update later. I probably won't trade CPSO. If I do, it'll be a small size. It doesn't seem like it trades very much volume, but I guess I missed the setup. I'll make an update later. Alright, it is 10:35. I think at this point a lot of people could have been profitable. You know, this thing just straight up really. A lot of people who aren't really maybe as meticulous, they just take a buy at 80.04 and they just, wow, great, 86. Dip buys work. This is a very nice move. I will be watching this. I want to see if it touches VWAP or not. Maybe it won't, maybe it will. If it does the inverse head and shoulders, I'll be interested in trading that. And I'll try my best. You know, I don't have to trade this thing anymore either. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. I'll just be watching this for an inverse head and shoulders. A very nice run up. Traded it here, Do not trade any of this. I thought about taking a buy, but that's fine. This thing can make, you know, a nice move, potentially an inverse head and shoulders. It doesn't have to happen, but it can. Okay, it is 10:53 a.m. Unfortunately, this might be the inverse head and shoulder, shoulder head, and this tiny thing at VWAP could be the shoulder. In theory, if I were to take a buy right here, it would be a chase. The spread is kind of there, so it's not really that nice. I would have had to have been at 90 something, and I would have had to have been with like a very, very, very small size. Yeah, so this thing could be at the inverse head and shoulders. The volume is very low, which is kind of not, I mean, good for an uptrend, sure, but if I miss it here because it did it, you know, this tiny thing at VWAP, sure, I wanted it to drop more. We didn't get that here, but I'll keep watching. If in theory I would trade this, it would be a small size because it's a bit of a chase. I probably don't want to mess with it, and the goal would be 95 right there, at least for right now. Okay, it is 11:17. We did have this drop. It broke through VWAP. I will be now watching this for a potential inverse head and shoulders. I almost thought this thing was going to be a cup and handle. You know, like the cup and the handle, and maybe even a inverse head and shoulders with VWAP, all of those things together. But I just didn't like the price action. I didn't like how the volume was so low and this thing was just barely moving. So I'll be watching this. I don't mind if I miss it, but this could now be a potential inverse head and shoulders setup. Alright, it is 11:39. I'm going to call it off for now. I think this thing could bottom, right? And it can turn around, but this thing had like a fake out, you know, like dip, and then it came back a little bit. I mean, the range isn't bad, I guess, from 86 to 91, and now it's back here at 86. So it's not really an inverse head and shoulders anymore because it's had like two of them. So I won't be interested in trading it for that reason, but there's no reason why it can't turn around besides that it had one previously and the volume is just really bad compared to what it used to be. So it can turn around, but you know, I wanted a clean inverse head and shoulders. That's not it. KYNC, I actually did not even look at this one because it was up on the day. It had a gap up, so when it was down, it wasn't really that noticeable. I would have had to have clicked it, right, to have seen that it was having to drop. This one went from what, 28 to 31. I guess that wasn't too bad. And then I wanted to trade the double bottom. I hate the double bottoms. This one was a lot higher low. I would have maybe been more interested in this one. It went from 23 to 27. And then that inverse head and shoulders, shoulder, head, shoulder, 26 to 32. And this is the one I got the VWAP. That would have been ideal. Now seeing something as clean as that with KYNC makes me less interested in trading NSAV. I'm going to call it off for now. I probably won't be looking into the markets. This is what I wanted with PHIL the other day, and it did do it. PHIL just took longer. This kind of downtrend, and it turns around eventually. RSHN isn't doing that well. BTBT is just being I guess an inverse head and shoulders here, but it's red on the day. It's just being a crazy listed stock. CPSL did drop towards VWAP. I think I saw it here, maybe here. I hope it wasn't there, but it was definitely one of these two, and it did turn around a little bit. So, I mean, 58, 56. It's not that much range, but then it did one more downtrend. I guess an inverse head and shoulders here, shoulder, head, shoulder, and then we have a head and shoulders. But this one trades a lot scarier because the volume isn't really as strong. So yeah, that's all I got really. KYNC looks very nice. This is what I would have liked really with NSAV, but we didn't get that, and that's totally fine. That's all I got. I'll make an update later. Alright, it is 5 o'clock and I'm here to call it off. I was up like $30 something. I did try with NSAV trading a larger size when it was back here. I traded this initial one, I traded this one, I traded this one, and I did miss this one. I thought about maybe an entry here, and I didn't do it. And then I was looking for inverse head and shoulders. This little thing was throwing me off, holding VWAP. Then I had this drop. It came back quickly. And then, you know, it came back here and I thought, okay, I don't think it's going to really work as nicely, especially when I, you know, look at what was that other one, MJWL, I think, and it just looked so much cleaner, what I would have wanted. So realizing that, I just stayed away. It looked like it fell more, but I haven't seen this thing since then. It looks like, I guess, when was it? Yeah, the drop. Whoa, this is confusing me. Here was the drop, the one I missed, right? And then I had this one. It had this, oh, fake out right here, right? It didn't work out ultimately. And this was the one that worked. This was later at 11:48. What, 77 to 89, which is VWAP. That would have been pretty cool. I guess what, 15%. It did get a little higher. It's trying to hold VWAP, and I guess, yeah, it kind of turned around there. So not bad, considering the fact that I missed the ultimate bottom. I was still profitable, and I still traded a decent size. I think this was the dip towards VWAP I was looking at, or maybe this one. No, it was definitely this one. Yeah, and then it came back and made a nicer move. Nothing else with CPSL. Ideally, it can make a nice morning panic bounce play, but this thing doesn't trade with much volume. BTBT is back at 997. It was still amazing considering that it broke out of that range. It can keep going. DRNG was just disgusting. RSHN, really nothing here either. This one wasn't as nice either. That's all I got really. 3 trades. I'm glad I didn't trade anything completely stupid like yesterday, although it was a lot like DRNG if I would have taken a buy here. 76 to 83. I just have to keep pushing, keep going at it. I could have traded the ultimate bottom, but I don't regret that, and I don't regret any of these either. Maybe I would have felt better. I guess it wasn't MJWO. Which one was it? I have no clue. Nope, I have no clue what was the name of that other one, and I don't see it on my list. Yeah, clearly it was an MJWL, right? I think it was KYNC. Yeah, it was KYNC. The only thing I could have really done better, in my opinion, is perhaps trade KYNC. I just didn't pick this one up. That's really all I got, so I'm going to call it off. Overall, a good trading day, but I need to keep trying to trade with larger size and push myself, because I do have like a winning percentage that is, you know, good, like, you know, over 60%. So ideally with larger size I can work myself through. I'm not going to do anything unhealthy, but I do need to, you know, keep trying harder.